Spirit is asking you to start looking at your life from the perspective of your soul, more so than from the perspective of your human self. So I meditated before your reading and I pulled a few cards, and the first card that came out was Soul Time. And this card says the frequency of soul time asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. And the next card that came out from a different deck is It Is What It Is, and there's this door here that's closed. And I feel like, just intuitively tapping into this energy, that Spirit's asking you to kind of close the door to like a phase of your life where you really looked at things from your human perspective and saw all of your challenges and struggles, all the things that you were trying to achieve from your human perspective, and sort of take a new approach to looking at your life from your soul. And you just do that by shifting your perspective, and almost you sort of need to imagine, like, what is it that my soul was trying to do here in this lifetime as me? And looking at yourself almost from like an outsider perspective, but that outsider would be your soul, and viewing your life like this part of your life that you're putting behind you now, where you just had kind of a limited perspective, where you only saw things again from like your human lens, and things like your life happening to you. And now in this new phase, Spirit's asking you to shift into a different way of looking at things, a broader perspective of seeing, when you do look at the past, seeing how everything you've been through has been for your soul's growth, and just the absorption of experiences that it just comes here to have, and not attaching so much meaning to those experiences as being anything more than just your soul wanting to have those experiences through the human, through you specifically. And in this new chapter, the next card out was A Merry Motive. And this is making me feel like having a new kind of purpose or a new why. And I'm going to dig some more into this in a minute with some more cards. But I'm also noticing, and I want to point this out, these two cards right here. See how there's like looks like a cross on both of these. And I just feel like you're at a crossroads and you're closing this door behind you. I really feel like there's this big separation between like your old way of just viewing your life, and you're viewing it now from a more expansive place, a place where you're seeing things from the view of your soul. So everything that happens to you from now on, every single experience, you're going to be looking at it through the lens of your soul. Like, I'm just having this experience. I want to see what it's like to do this. Or when you have maybe like a disagreement with someone, you're going to look at it from like a higher perspective now. Or Spirit is inviting you to do that. Like, what is this trying to teach me? How is this helping me grow as a person? And how is this adding to my experiences as a soul? And also realizing that I'm also seeing with this cross, like, not being so, your experiences not being so linear, like really having this broadened perspective that you're having multiple experiences simultaneously, like through parallel kind of lives, right? So understanding your multidimensionality, and that time isn't linear, and you're not just having this one life that's going from like birth to death. Right now, you're also, you're not just going this way, you also can go up and down, and you're having multiple lives in different places and different times. And all of this is adding to your soul's experience. And when you kind of see it that way, you start to see your own personal human life differently. Like this is just one of like many that are happening across space and time. And you can tap into these different experiences, although I don't think that's like really the biggest part of this message. I think this is about your current life and just having this expanded perspective. And I'm going to get a little bit more on this. It is what it is. I feel like Spirit is wanting you to kind of let go of some things that may have been just kind of hard to let go of, like maybe things that you were really attached to that have ended, and just kind of seeing this as a chance to come up with a new purpose for yourself. And part of that purpose is this merry word on here. This is like having a merry motive. Like, I feel like your soul is wanting to experience more joy and have more happy experiences. Like we've been through enough challenging, difficult experiences. The soul's kind of saying, okay, I know what it's like to feel all these heavy, difficult emotions. I want to experience some fun and some lightheartedness. That's really coming through strongly here. So yeah, let's get some more on this. I'm actually going to pull, I think, another card from the Sacred Geometry Oracle. Spirit, what else do you want to say about this soul time, this soul expansion for this collective? I'm also noticing a lot of stars in the cards, and I'm hearing like dream bigger. I feel like this like really expansive, like a joyful, like what's the new dream, your merry motive, your new dream that's going to be driving you forward. Okay, so we're getting alchemy, number 8. Interesting. See how this is like a linear kind of orientation? And I really do feel like Spirit wants you to focus, like this message anyway, is focusing on this current lifetime that you're living as this human that you are right now. Okay, so the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemist to perform miracles of transmutation. Okay, let me sit with that for a minute here. You know, it's saying the potential to access the, you know, ancient knowledge. So again, with this, you do have these different lifetimes that you have access to that came through with this card, and they're happening simultaneously, and you can access these lifetimes at any time in this current lifetime. Like, again, changing your perspective, like seeing your multidimensionality and noticing that you have access to all these other parts of you that have their own experiences where they've gained knowledge and wisdom in all different areas. Just see what else wants to come through this card. And it's like alchemizing all of your experiences. Like even though you're shutting the door to the past, you're taking everything that you've experienced, and your soul alchemizes all these experiences, and it's wisdom now, and it's wisdom that you carry forward with you. Okay, I'm going to get some more from the Oracle of Seven Energies deck. Yeah, and it's like time to come up with this new motive, this new drive for this next chapter of your life. And realizing you have everything you need to make that happen. This is giving me like magician energy. Okay, tender embrace. 22, and it was 222 when I started the video. And there's these 2s here, so 2s might be significant. There's also a 2 on this card. Look at the colors on these 2 also. So that tells me that these messages are connected. A merry motive, tender embrace. What I'm getting with that is come into this new space like gently. It's okay to take your time and like be like tender with yourself, because this is a new way of looking at things, looking at this like new chapter of your life. And I feel like there may be something here with just in this new chapter of relationships being of primary importance. Let's get a little bit more. And elephants are associated with memory. And, the alchemy card was talking about the remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. And there's all these stars on all of these cards. It's like really, really beautiful. If you could see all these stars, it's like having a new dream for yourself. And maybe one of those dreams is to have like good connections with others. Yeah, but something about pulling on the memories. Actually, what I'm getting with that, with tender embrace, it's, being grateful for the relationships you've had and the things that they've taught you, but being open to new ones, but taking your time with that. Earth magic. Oh, there's a lot of magic here. Look at all the stars here too. Okay, so, wow. Merry motive and earth magic. And these two, look at this like swirling energy coming up from like the earth here. So let me sit with this for a minute and see what else is coming through with that. I'm going to pull some tarot, I think, also. It's like you're alchemizing what you've learned in relationships especially, and taking that into like this new chapter, this merry motive, having, happy, fulfilling relationships, fun, and just embracing this connection with magic that you have. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability, the remembrance of the magic. And this literally says earth magic. So you're really being asked in this new chapter to connect to the earth more, to your ability to create like really strong, grounded experiences for yourself. The elephant is also, it's a big, like heavy animal. It's very, very grounding versus like, like insects, that are light and airy. This is very, very grounded. The elephant is, got the wide, feet and all four legs like on the ground, very, very grounded. This is barefoot. So this new chapter, it's like your soul wants to really experience the magic of earth. That's how it's coming through. It's like, something about your past phase, closing the door to that. You may have felt very ungrounded at times. And in this new phase, like, we even have the forest here, the forest, the earth. This is very earthy. There's lots of green in these cards. Really coming into connection with earth, getting like kind of like shamanic sort of vibes here. Let me open up the tarot and see, Spirit, what are you trying to say with this? Merry motive, a tender embrace, earth magic. Really embracing yourself as this being who came to earth to really experience like being in deep connection with earth and everything that has to do with the earthly experience is what I'm getting here. Like maybe the last chapter of your life has been a lot, you've spent a lot of time kind of in like the spiritual spaces. So I feel like I'm probably connecting to someone who has strong spiritual practices. You feel very connected to spirit. And that's wonderful. And that's taught you so much. But Spirit is saying it's time in this new chapter. Your soul really wants to experience more grounded, experiences where you're really connected to the natural world. I'm getting nature coming through very strongly, like spending time outdoors in different ways. I'm seeing like camping and hiking and like getting your hands dirty, getting your hands in the dirt. I feel like I'm connecting to somebody who's spent a lot of time like almost in your upper chakras for a long time. Like maybe you meditate a lot, maybe you have really strong like spiritual practices, and with that cross energy, you know, I don't know, I know that's very religious, it's a religious symbol, but this really stood out to me also. But this is connecting almost more to like earth magic, like this card literally says. You know, I'm feeling like I said shamanic, like witch kind of vibes here, kind of like pagan, like going back to your lineage. Something in this alchemy card, it said we have potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed us to perform miracles of transmutation. So there's definitely something here with connecting to this earth magic, this shamanic roots. You know, like I said, you probably have like these different lifetimes happening, and your soul is wanting you like to be aware of, like this is calling you forward with this Mary motive. Like you're going to be coming up with a new like purpose for yourself is what I'm hearing. And it really has to do with like dancing with nature, this like Mary motive. It's almost like having this like fairy, you know, kind of dancing in nature, you know, dancing barefoot in nature. I'm really like seeing that. So Spirit, why is this person's or this collective being called to connect more deeply with earth magic? Okay, we're getting the Chariot. Yeah, it's moving forward. It's leaving this, see the castles in the background? It's like leaving this chapter behind. You know, it is what it is. Like you've experienced whatever it was you were supposed to experience in this last chapter that you're coming out of. And Spirit's saying, close the door behind that. You're moving forward into this whole new experience for your soul. And I feel like it's going to be like slower. It's going to be very grounded. Okay, Eight of Swords. I'm trying not to overthink this new chapter. I feel like there's like this hesitation to do this. Like it's outside of your comfort zone to almost, and that's the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is literally getting out of your comfort zone and expanding. Yeah, it's like you're really hesitating, and Spirit's saying you're still sort of feeling like you're back here behind this door, and you're not. That's just kind of in your mind, and it's time to actually take that step forward. The Three of Wands is kind of this waiting energy, but it's a need to get out of your comfort zone. It's a need to actually like get out into the world. I'm hearing getting out into nature. Let Mother Nature like embrace you, like really feel that connection with Mother Earth is what I'm getting with nature. There's something in that magic. There's something that's is going to wake up inside of you when you do that. Yeah, this is going to be a whole new chapter for you where your spiritual experiences are going to be more grounded in nature. They're not going to be so, how do I describe that? Like so, like just invisible is how it's coming through. Like, just kind of almost like a cerebral experience where everything's just kind of in your mind and almost like in your imagination, which is very real. And you probably have really wonderful experiences with spiritual connection that way. You may have a lot of like psychic experiences, like clairvoyant, clairaudient, you know, where you see images, you hear messages from Spirit, and Spirit is saying that is wonderful, and you're going to keep that with you moving forward. This is expansion, But it's like you've already been doing that. And this is like a new way of experience spirit, but experiencing spirit like out here in nature. So Spirit, why do they need to do this next? What is this new chapter going to bring for them? Okay, we're getting the Moon card. Now this is, you know, these like little pillars here are reminding me of this Chariot, right? He's like leaving this behind and he's going into the unknown. The Moon is uncertainty. It's traveling in a direction where you don't really know where you're going or what's going to happen, but it's kind of choosing this path here that's very much unknown. You know, this lobster crawls out of the water and he takes this path forward, even though he's not exactly sure what's going to happen. He might have some fears. Let's just get a little bit more on that. Okay, so we've got the Moon. I'm also getting like, again, with it being in the woods with the stars and like the moon energy, I'm feeling this very feminine, you know, connection with, I'm really getting like witch energy with this. So that may resonate for you. Maybe you're feeling more called to more like natural, spiritual practices, like pagan practices. Taking the road less traveled, like doing something different with your spirituality. Like your soul wants to expand, your soul wants to experience. I really feel like your soul is like craving almost this connection with nature. That's coming through so strongly here. Okay, let's see what else, Spirit. It's like with that tender embrace, it's almost like Mother Nature, like letting nature actually embrace you. Like literally, see how they're like so connected and this person's bare feet are in the dirt. It's like getting really, really connected with nature in a very, you know, hands-on kind of way. What else do you want to say about that, Spirit? Let me get one at a time here. Oh, the Emperor. Okay. The Emperor. I'm hearing you are in control of this Chariot. You are the one that decides the direction of your life. Because, you know, before here with the Eight of Swords and the Three of Wands, this is really feeling like you're held back from expanding. And moving forward, you know, with like also with the Chariot, you know, this is movement, expansion, but this is feeling stuck. You may have, I don't know, maybe somebody in your life that's like this Emperor energy that you kind of feel is a controlling influence and not kind of, you're feeling like you're not able to expand maybe, because of some kind of controlling influence that's coming through for some of you. Let's see, what else, Spirit? Okay, the Moon, the Emperor. And also, like, something about getting control of your fears. Is something else with the Moon and the Emperor coming through? Strength. Okay. The Moon, the Emperor, and strength. It's really about having the confidence and that inner strength, that inner fire. There's like something that really is calling you to do this and to really, I don't know why there's a fear here. I'm going to ask that, but there's like a fear or a resistance, a holding back that is keeping you from like really getting into this new chapter where you're just being asked to connect with nature. So one thing that is coming through here, and this might just be for a few of you, because I was picking up on that cross, there may be some of you who simply are afraid to engage in this more like, almost like pagan, you know, natural magic because of a past connection with religion. The Emperor is making me feel that way a little bit. Like that controlling influence that says, spirituality only looks one way. Maybe that's what you're familiar with, like in your past. You've been, part of a religion, and maybe that's like your family history, that sort of thing. And for you to veer off from that and to really go in a different direction, the Three of Wands can also be a nonconformist. So, you feel like you're kind of trapped and you can't expand. You can't do something different. You can't, run around barefoot under the moon and have more of like a pagan practice, a pagan type of spiritual practice. That is coming through very, very strongly here. And yeah, there's like this fear with the moon. But Spirit's saying like, you're the one that, almost like the strength, you need to have the strength to stand up and be the authority of your own life. You're the one that decides your life and your beliefs and what it is that you want to practice. So that's really interesting. Spirit, what is your advice for this collective? Two of Wands. And I'm really getting like the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands. I was just looking at tender embrace again. There's something here about with tender, like taking this slowly. I think like you're concerned about relationships. Don't elephants also mate for life? I think so. There's something that was coming through about relationships in this, and you're kind of tentative with that tender. And I'm also getting like, with tender and like taking your time, like exploring your interest in this, pagan type of spirituality, like slowly on your own. You don't have to jump completely in. You don't have to like slam the door shut on the past. If you really were more, familiar with, say, Christianity, that's coming through again with those crosses. But whatever kind of like formal religious practice, the Emperor can be like formal institutions also. Be just, willing to take baby steps with that tender embrace. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands, the King of Wands. That's a lot of bravery too. And we also have strength here. So we've got, these two cards of bravery and courage. And the Emperor also, it's about, again, like being like this, you're the authority of your life. Okay, let me get one more. And the King of Wands is also, he's my visionary. It's like, we've got the King of Wands, the Two of Wands, the Three of Wands. Like, what do you want for your life? What do you want your life to look like? And the Nine of Cups. This is personal happiness, especially with the 9 here. It's not just happiness, but it's specifically about your own individual happiness. 9s are all about the individual. And it's like, what fills your cups? What makes you happy? What is your, merry motive? What is the thing that makes you happy? What fills your cups, makes you feel like emotionally satisfied? Like maybe there was something that you just weren't getting from the more like formal religion that you've practiced and maybe that you're familiar with. But you really kind of want to do the different thing. The wolf on this card is the more, it's whatever you would see that's kind of wild, and like the dog being what you've already known, the more conventional kind of path, and the wolf is the more wild path. It's the different path than those around you may have taken. So I feel very strongly that there's someone here that wants to explore this new option. It's like, the wand back here, and on the Three of Wands, the wands back here. This is what you've already done, but your interest is being piqued in moving in a new direction. So yeah, I just think with also strength, it's just, being patient, taking this slowly, this tender embrace. Final message here, Spirit. Yeah. 9 of Pentacles, again, another 9 here, and a High Priestess. So I really do feel like you can do this quietly. This isn't something that you need to declare to the world that, I'm leaving, telling your family I'm leaving our, the religion that we've all practiced for years and years, and I'm going to explore this, completely different type of spirituality. You don't have to announce that. You can keep this quiet. This is something that you can explore on your own. And, what you value, what's important to you is what matters, because it's your life. It's your soul. It's what your soul wants to experience. And if this is what's calling to you right now, this is an experience that you can go for. I'm also drawing like these two pillars here. It's like you've got all these, option cards, the Two of Wands, the Chariot, like moving in a different direction. And of course, the High Priestess is spirituality. And this is very earthy. I mean, look at all of the, earth around her, the grapes around her. It's like you're really wanting to explore a more earth-based spirituality. So that's been repeated multiple times. I'm going to get a little bit more, just like a final oracle card for a final message for you. Bearing fruit. That kind of goes with that Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like if you explore this, and this tree, again, this huge tree, this enormous trunk. We've got the trunks here with the elephants too. There's just this real grounding practice is going to be so good for you, I feel. It's something that will bear fruit in your life, and it'll bear fruit for your soul. It's something that it's just calling to you. I just feel like this earth magic is calling to you, and it's going to bring a lot of fruit in whatever way that shows up for you in your life, but it's going to be so enriching. So, let yourself do this quietly if you feel that's the way to go, because again, you're the one that's in charge. You're the one that's in charge. You're the one that has the vision for your life. So be brave and stand up for what it is that you want to experience. Go on this path and just explore it and be open to the unknown. All right, so I'm going to leave that message here. I hope this found who needed to hear it. If this resonated with you, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.